guys, Coach K here, and we're going to talk today about, but more specifically, what this is as a catalyst for in terms of the currency space, skills that exist. So we can see here, obviously, is Steem is going through a bit of a crisis. They laid off 70% of their employees because they're restructuring the company. It's obviously that there's major issues at the company. A lot of people have said that there's infighting ever since Dan Larimer left. And so, yeah, basically, as we can see, the price of Steem since January, when it hit its top around $7, it's gone almost back to zero. And that's a huge problem. A lot of other ICOs have had this happen as well, but they had a very large market share at one point, and now they obviously don't. So as we can see, the market collapse doesn't help them. 97%, pretty bad. It's 24 cents right now. They're running out of money. They have to, they can't pay people in fiat, so this is the problems. People can't cash enough Steem to pay for their employees, so they have a huge cash flow. The company direction is two fronts: blockchain and web development. Unfortunately, they can't master both. They focus too much on the blockchain, and so this is probably why you feel like when you went on Steem, doesn't feel like a great platform. I always say this, that if you're gonna create a new technology, it has to be better than the old technology. Faster, it's easier to use, it's cheaper, it's more efficient, etc. And Steem hasn't actually mastered any of those things. It's cool that you can get paid, but generally people don't really care because it's not enough, and not enough adoptions happened yet for people for it to be worth it. And so because of this, I think they've kind of failed. So the long-term problems, the company is doing too much with blockchain, as I said. The cost of their API maintenance, because they maintain them for free, it's expensive. It's a full-blown social media project, so that's also hard to maintain. They don't have the resources, the management skills, and the money, honestly, to do what Facebook does. Because of that, giving away money to people doing this stuff, it sounds like a great ideal, but if you don't have money coming in, how are you supposed to keep paying people in your Steem token and it be worth anything? This is the problem with a lot of the ICOs that I've seen this year. So the solutions is cut down on the new features that they've added, put sunset on Steemit, that okay. They said, like Ned said, the infrastructure can never scale to compete with Instagram. So Destiny and new apps solve core issues with Steemit and now abandoned it because of lack of resources. So this is a problem. Their goals are the adoption of blockchain, transfer, store, and wealth, obviously, like everything else. Encourage other applications in Steemit to further censorship resistance and increase usage of Steem as a currency and to grow the currency. But the problem is they need adoption for that. They need to make it better. They need to make it something that will actually compete with Facebook. And now they're laying off a lot of their employees. So how are they supposed to do that? So conclusion is that they have tough decisions. Obviously, Ned Scott, apparently there's a lot of issues with him within the company. And so there's a lot of issues there. So they left, a lot of the employees. And here's the thing with Steem. It's a great ideal. And a lot of the ICOs were great ideas. At least Steem had a product. But the problem is with these projects is, how are you supposed to maintain something where you're giving money away to people creating on your platform, right? So those ideas are really interesting. Now, some of them will work because they'll get the adoption first and they'll make sure that they create something amazing. Some of them won't. And I think what we're starting to see is some of the bigger companies in the space have had some issues, right? Here's a great example with Steemit. What's the other company? There was another one recently that also had some issues with cash flow. So you're going to see that with a lot of these companies. And as Chengpen Zhao said the other day, I can actually show you this. He said in here that he doesn't really know what will create the bull. He says, so what's going to trigger the next bull run? He says he doesn't actually know. Just keep building and doing your stuff, right? Some people say, well, break over the 200-day moving average. But then a guy one of my guys in my group was replying to me, said, cryptocurrencies use a global secondary payment layer, and normies invest in ETFs and IRAs. Protocol cryptos, ETH, etc. produce dApps that normies will use on a daily basis. Like I was saying, it has to have actual adoption, it has to have people using it. And number 3, bad scam projects will bleed out. But what Chengpen Zhao said is 3 is sort of taken care of with the bear run. very true. And we're starting to even see that with some of the good projects, and that's normal as well. Keep all that in mind. Then we have we'll never be we're never going to be 100% these other companies, and that's very, very true. Number two is interesting. So he thinks that the whole dApps idea is interesting. Maybe it could happen, but one he agrees with fully that we have to have a secondary payment layer, and it be for normies, and have an ETF and have IRAs. So all these things are things that even Chicken Pizzao thinks we need, and even some of the big companies like Steemit could eventually close shop if they don't have the right mechanics on the inside of their company. And that's something to be said about the industry, right? It's maturing. And so the companies that have great business plans and models, they're going to do well. And some of these companies, even if they're the ones that we like and think could do well, they don't have the right setup, the right business model, the right people involved. It's going to be very hard. So I just wanted to be like, all right, guys, with all that, that's what's going on with Steem. Watch for other ICOs potentially to have some similar fates. Steem is not dead, but it is in trouble, and I think a lot of the other ICOs are also. So keep your eyes on that, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Coach K signing out.